we hit record, and yeah, we'll fire it up. Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. So I've got Ashley's here hanging out with me. She's gonna help me keep an eye on chat and ask questions and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm just gonna stick to the 15-minute. I have my checklist up here, guys. I'm gonna look specifically during this window for 15-minute flip plays. I'm gonna wait for price to close past the change of character line before putting in my limit order, and I'm only testing 3R today. So that being said, we will, my shaded box here, like the first part of the session, is kind of my like stop here, do analysis before the market opens up. So I can skip a little bit till we get to that box. And yeah, a lot of people.
And so this is all going to be done on Euro USD this morning.
Yeah. So we're just going to do a little Euro USD action. So we got the makings of a change of character. So we have, what I'm looking here is we have a low, high, and then this comes down here. We have a little bit of a liquidity grab here, I think. So equals is, yeah, double top, basically the same thing. And then price comes down here, and this is what I would call your change of characters. Price comes down, breaks the structure down here, and then you're going to see a little bit of a pullback here. Now this may win, this may lose, that's fine. But basically, and I don't think this touches over here. So this is probably not the best example, but I'd be looking for an entry like in this area. I really don't like this because price didn't actually touch it. So I'm probably just going to do the extreme. So just put a limit order there. And price has closed past the change of character line on this candle. So this limit order can go in now.
Okay, and the reason that you drew the box from the bottom of that candle, I see why you would put it to the top, but why would you choose that candle as the bottom?
Sure. So this candle, the bottom here represents like what I would consider the entire demand zone. You could draw like this would kind of be like your order block if you were doing it with order blocks, just your last up candle before the down move. I like the entire up move before the down move. So, and you could even argue that it's this, because this is stops the upward momentum and goes further down. So you could definitely make an argument for this. You can make an argument for this either way. I kind of like this because it taps into another zone over here. This is a sell to buy. When you have wicks like this that kind of overlap the candles like this, this is these are 15-minute candles. So price comes up here, then sells for like 5 minutes. So that's like a retrace on a lower time frame. Right. So that's a demand zone for me. So I kind of look at, this is what I'm looking at here. This is what I'd be looking at for my entry.
And for the change of character, are you looking for the wick to break, or for the wick or body?
So a wick break will kind of tell me that the change of character is happening, but I won't place the limit order until this body breaks down here for the purposes of the backtesting. So this is actually something that I was excited to backtest, is the wick break versus the body break. So that's in terms of like when I place the order, because there's definitely a difference between like wick breaks versus body breaks. And arguably, I have a feeling this one's going to lose because this all still looks just like liquidity grabbing to me. This doesn't look like a change of character, but this mostly meets the criteria. So yeah, we're gonna keep going a little bit, and yeah, this is gonna lose. Yep, that's okay. Losers are always fun. We're gonna mark this off as a loser, just like that for now. And then we're out of our session, so we're gonna zoom ahead a bit to the next day. Yes, I'm waiting for a retrace to the supply zone, then to take the trade. All right. So, all right, market structure looks like it's still going up. This was a big retrace. And this was the high that caused this low during the retrace. So now this is getting broken.
So that would be another change of character, yeah?
Yep, this would be the change of character at the end of the retrace. This is the entire supply zone that caused this liquidity grab down here. And then the reaction to this supply zone, I would say, is this demand zone. Because price comes up into here, you can see it wicks and then comes down. So I really like wicks. I feel like wicks tell a story. Price comes up into here and then rejects. So price starts here, comes down, goes all the way up, then closes high. We can tell it closes high because of candle colors. Then when it closes, so it came up here, came down, closed, basically a doji, then came all the way down, and then closed up here. So after this selling pressure, price went up. Price never had a big selling pressure reaction like this one. So to me, that's the zone that I'm looking for. So all these other zones along the way, not as concerned about. So now that price has closed above there, I'll go and do my limit order.
Out of curiosity, because if I was watching this live on the chart and I didn't see the other candles that happened afterward, I would have actually thought that's a 3-point turn and I would have gone short 100%.
Like right here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It could be.
Is it not because it's not engulfing the third candle?
So a couple of things. For me, I'm just looking for trades very specifically during a time frame. So anything that happens outside of my time frame, you probably hear it referred to like as a kill zone sometimes. Not interested. So even if I see like a chalk and flip play outside of like my time frame, I'm not going to mark it up. I'm not going to enter it. And I even just to kind of get myself in the zone for backtesting, I backtested a little bit yesterday, and like same thing. All of my entries are only during the session. You'll find that during those kill zones, the movement in the market is there. Those kill zones are kind of what dictates the average daily range for most of the assets, and the outside of the kill zone timing, there's just not as much oomph behind the moves. So you're either going to be stalling, waiting for something to happen, or you're just going to get caught up in the muck usually. So yeah.
And do you find that you're getting one trade per day on Euro USD on the 15-minute?
Almost never more than one trade per day, but not like consistently one trade a day. If I had the London session activated, there would almost definitely be one trade a day, either in London or New York. But yeah. So let's see if we get tagged. Oh, just barely wicked in here. This is probably news, so we might not be in that. This looks like a news candle as hell, right? I feel good about this one.
And I think Navy had a question here as well as to whether or not you use multi-time frame analysis.
So I do. For the purpose of just this backtest, I'm just trying to do like 15-minute flips. But you're absolutely right. In a normal, just missed it. In a normal scenario, I would be up on the 4-hour, kind of marking everything out. It's a little bit difficult in the backtesting. It might be better served as kind of like a pre-recorded, not a live stream type of thing to do the multi-time frame. But I also might try and do it like on a 1-hour, 5-minute setting, because it's just tough. Because so like here, we're in our like kind of preview block. If I go out to the 4-hour here, actually I don't see it here. So okay, we had a giant come down, giant retrace. So, all right, sorry, getting distracted. Just for today, we're just sticking on 15-minute. Yes, I use multi-time frame analysis in my trading, but just for the purposes of trying to show off this kind of like entry, I'm just doing this. Yes, taking all valid entries regardless of trend for the purpose of this backtest. Yeah. So a kill zone is basically your very specific timing during a session when you happen to see the most volatility. Yeah, Miss Navy, just for the purpose of this backtest. But I encourage people to trade like with the trend, like wait for the backtest on a higher time frame to finish, and then look for your flip and your chalk and flip entries. This is yeah, I'll mark this as a loser. It's tight but didn't make it. All right, kind of keep going. So we're just melting here, so we don't really have market structure to work with, although this presents us with something. So this inside bar here is market structure on a lower time frame, and kind of using the same like wick theory that we were just talking about. Price comes down here and then spends 2 candles really pushing up here. So this is a lower high, and if price were to break this, I would consider that a change of character, although it would have to happen during, oh, this moves now to here because this got lower, right? Yep, that got lower. So now this is the lower low, and then this would be the change of character. Oh, out of session, no longer care. 1 second.
So even though you place limit orders, you only want them to be executed during the hours, I guess, during New York?
Sorry about that. What was that? I'm sorry.
Even though you essentially always place limit orders
Mm-hmm.
or often place limit orders, you only want them to be executed during
Yes,
those specific
correct.
times?
Correct. I'm looking for the limit order to get filled during New York. So I would do my analysis kind of pre-session, and then I mean keep doing analysis during the session if you know market structure. Like if I had another half hour on my session or like an hour or whatever this would have been, like I might have seen an entry here type of deal. But yeah,
Okay.
I'm looking kind of for the setup to start forming before the session starts, and then the actual entry would get tagged in during that kill zone.
Okay.
Yeah. So on a lower time frame, if you were to take this whole concept down to that 1 minute where you go and you get tagged in on the 15-minute, but on a 1 minute, you'd be looking for confirmation. It
Mhm.
it kind of, I guess, makes more sense during the kill zone in that regard, because you'd be looking like possibly for more of that market entry or style or market order style of entry as opposed to the
Okay.
limit order. But with the
Okay.
limit order, like I said, I'm just kind of looking to place the order before and then see if it gets filled during type of thing.
And I think you've already gone over this before, but what is the difference between a market order and a limit order?
So a limit order is a pending order. A limit order, essentially, if price comes down to it,
Mhm.
if price comes down and touches the limit order, then the order is executed, and now I'm in the trade. Market order is just clicking buy or sell and just being in market whenever that whatever price that is at that time. So limit
Okay.
order is pending and market order is instant execution. Yep. Sorry, Miss Navy, did you get muted? If you want to be unmuted, Miss Navy, I'll unmute you. I apologize if I muted you by accident. But yeah, let's keep going with this because we may see a change of character here. Okay, we got to change of character. So this is the demand zone associated with the change of character, and then this looks like the reaction just down here. So this would be the first reaction, really. Yeah. All right, and I'll be looking for a short. For 3R. Here we go. Yeah, I was gonna say probably out with spreads, but out regardless. Yep, okay. No problem. On to the next one. Yeah. Okay. Here, let me try and help you out a bit, Shane. So let's rewind a bit here. What I'm looking for, Shane, is before the market opened up, I'm just following market structure. And this right here is my low that caused this high. And this is my highest point before market opens. So I'd be looking for this low ultimately to get broken for the change of character play. So the zone that created this low starts up here because this is the high that creates it. For me, this is how I draw it. All right. So this high down to this low is the demand. This is the sell to buy. All right. The sell to buy action. So this is the demand. All right. Now, when price comes up here, grabs this liquidity, market structure break, break structure, whatever you want to call it, comes up, grabs this liquidity, then comes back down, it starts interacting with this zone right here. So I like to go grab this interaction and paint everything that gets covered here. So if I drag this over, you can see that, like, sorry, I'll drag it this way. This zone gets interacted with by then this zone. This would be your change of character zone that I'm looking for, the demand zone that created this liquidity grab. And then this is the supply zone that formed to beat this demand zone. I'm looking for my entry at that supply zone. We can go through it again, but we know that this one's a loser. Shane, let me know if that cleared it up for you a bit. Hopefully that helped. So this was news. This probably I'm not in, so it would mark it as a loser. And only when it breaks you place. Yes, only when price goes and closes below that. I'm looking to enter the pending order. That's actually one of the things that I'm testing today, is waiting for price to close past it versus just wicking past it. Okay, out of session. I was going to say another flip is happening right now, but it's out of session. And where exactly do you place the order? So for today, I'm placing the order at the edge of that flip zone that gets created. So at this reaction is where my entry is, and at the high is where my stop loss goes.
And this is a bit different, I think, than how you were doing it before, right? I think you were using a GAN box and entering
so
25%.
What I was doing last time was taking that entry instead at like the 3/4.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was using the GAN box to kind of signify that. So this probably wins a 3R at the GAN box, honestly. Yeah, it definitely does, but whatever. But yeah, that's all different things that you can try out. I actually really like that kind of using the GAN box method as a way of like kind of mechanically refining the zone. Because like I said, like a lot of people could draw this zone differently. Like I like this for the purposes of backtesting. I like this because it's easy and it's really obvious. Realistically, like this is the zone over here. Like almost definitely. And let's see, so that comes up, goes down. Yeah, this would be the unmitigated zone that gets touched into. For the purpose of kind of like really starting off, and like going back to basics, even for myself to reaffirm the basics, like this is the entire sell to buy. But yeah, this would be the unmitigated or refined zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Navy had gone over that in the live yesterday as well, of the you have the whole zone and then the refined zone as well.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, you can refine. The most important thing is to always refine the same way, is be as mechanical as possible as you can get with it. And that's why I kind of really started liking the idea of doing the GAN box measurement, because it can offer a really mechanical way of refining like the entire zone, instead of saying like, oh, is this my zone because it's the whole sell to buy, or is this the zone because this is, you know, where price stopped going down for a little bit? Is this the zone because it's just the last down before the up? I like how the GAN box is just a very consistent way of doing that every single time. Yeah. Actually, I have nothing against how Miss Navy draws her. I actually think it's really clever. Instead of trying to figure out all this, and Miss Navy could describe it way better in her lives, but I think you just draw this, and then whenever price comes back in, then you look for your confirmation. Something along those lines. I don't want to go into it. I don't know her system as well, but I think it's really fascinating, and it's so true. Everyone draws it differently, and they're all fine as long as you're consistent. That's the most important thing. So, all right.
Consistency is key.
Yep. So I'd be looking. This looks like my high creating this low. There's my change of character. All right. So the reason I'm drawing this zone like this is the buy to sell. So this is the supply zone, the buy move to the sell. And then it gets reacted with to, actually the change of character happens down here. Yeah, this is when it gets a little sloppy, is when like the entire move is the zone. So I would really just be looking for, oh God, this is awful.
How so?
Candle by candle. It's all just super tight on itself. No, I want to show it because when you're live, you're gonna do this. Like this is what I struggle with live, is is staring at this. So yeah, so this would be the high. This creates a new low, right? This one does not. The next one does. Oh my God. All right. So if that's the new low, then this is the new change of character. Forgive me for a second, guys. I'm not going to be looking at chat. Yeah, so this is why I said it's a mess, is the entire buy to sell move is just the entire retrace. So in that type of scenario, I'm just gonna take your like your doji here, because I mean, you can see if I have this entire zone covered, like price just never leaves that zone. Essentially, like it just it ranges in here before it'll take off there. So yeah, this would be a time where as price develops, so here, like I'll have it drawn here initially, and then you can see like there's just nothing to work with. So yeah, price comes up here, breaks. I'd be looking for,
you know, sorry, Roxy and Fork. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right. I'm sorry.
I ask that every day too.
I'm just saying that, you know, if it's not obvious, you don't have to take the trade.
Yeah.
I think you're doing this just for backtesting purposes, right?
Yeah.
And maybe live you would have kind of.
Yeah. So here's the candle closure, and per the rules, this is when the limit order goes on. And then we can just extend this to include the entire zone. So now we'd be looking for our entry. Yeah, and that's why I wanted to go back and do it a bit slower, candle by candle, because I felt like it was going to make more sense if I just took it slower. And it does now, because I'm not looking for my entry, my limit order, to get placed during this. This is when I want my limit order placed. And again, I might still lose, but it's important to be consistent.
Hey,
we got one.
You got one.
That's why I wanted to take that slower, because I knew that it's all there. It's just slowing it all down, doing it correctly.
And I know because you're doing this live, but it's very possible that if you were looking at multi-time frame, it might have been clearer.
Oh, absolutely. Even just zooming out on the 15, like you'll see where in a big kind of overall bearish push, and like I'm just sitting here like taking long after long. So yeah, a multi-time frame is definitely going to help this, but this is just kind of like you have to familiarize yourself with each piece of your trading strategy, like on its own. Like last time on the backtesting, I kind of worked on just the break of structure, identifying clean break of structure, drawing the zone. This week, it's kind of working on just these flip zones, identifying the grabs of liquidity before the move. So yeah, like you kind of have to be familiar with each individual aspect. Like there's levels, there's entry, there's risk management. Like there's so much going on, and we as traders have to internalize it and make it all muscle memory. It absolutely can work on indices. Supply and demand works on everything that I've seen it.
And just out of curiosity, because I'd be curious to know how you define what a flip zone is, because I think Jeremy explained it differently than Navy the other day, and I'd be curious to know how you define that.
Sure. So because of the way I draw them, I draw it, I consider it, I define it as the reaction. Like this is the supply zone that created the liquidity grab, and the supply zone associated with the change of character doesn't have a special name. For all the special names that SMC applies to everything, there's no special name for that. That's just a supply zone. Right. The zone that reacts to that supply zone to then overtake it is what I would call the flip zone. So kind of similar thing here, the entire zone, the entire supply zone, it doesn't quite leave it during the liquidity grab. So the zone that creates a reaction here to basically the change of character area is what I'm looking at for the flip. So, and I think this one will get us tagged in. And I think this one is with trend. like with the higher time frame trend. Oh no, it's gonna run off without us. Oh well, that happens. There's another really messy one. This might just be like, this might be like the one we ignore.
So with SMC trading, there's not really, you're not so much looking at all at support and resistance.
No, so support and resistance kind of banks on multiple touches, and supply and demand kind of banks on things get touched once, and then you should be looking at a new zone. Excuse me, a new zone.
Right.
That's probably one of the biggest differences. Yeah, I don't like this at all. This one we're definitely skipping. This is.
You're loud.
Hey, Sven.
Sven.
Hey. Handle closure, so let's start drawing this out. We got to draw this smaller. Yeah, we need this fight to exist for there to be the flip zone.
You see, I would have thought it was from the high previously. That's just on the left. No.
So, yeah, this is kind of where the tough judgment comes in. So your high gets broken here. And then as soon you make the high, and then price comes down and melts all the way to here. Price ignores this entirely and comes all the way down to it. Actually, which tells me that it is probably going to come back up there. Yeah, so let's go with that, Ashley. Let's go with the top one.
No, that's not what I meant. Nope. Actually, I meant the one on the left.
Yep.
That's exactly what I meant. I knew what I was talking about, Jenks.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Yep.
Let's go with this one. No, actually, I do think you're right, though. I think it's here, and I think it's, I think price is reacting to it up there. I think you're right. Oh,
no.
Hold on.
Oh. Two times, too.
This is going to win. I feel it that this is just going to go straight. Oh, okay. Never mind. Better to be stopped out here than still be in it over here, because that's a slippage candle.
Goes to show you how right I was.
Yep. No, that's good. But this is, again, where like the higher time frame is going to help you, because this is, if you wipe all this away and go, if you look at it instead from, this is a liquidity grab and this is your break of structure. Oh no, oh, I broke it. I tried going too fast. Sorry, give me 1 second, guys. On the 4 hour.
Mr. Jenks, there's a very good question
I'm
here.
reading it right now. Yeah, can I get away with trading just 4 hour, 15-minute hour crazy hours? Yes, in fact, if you have crazy hours, I would recommend utilizing as much of the higher time frames as possible. Just 2 would simplify my time frame, and just 2 would do wonders. Yeah. So, okay. I think that it's very possible to do with 2. I think 3 is the sweet spot. I think having a third is a sweet spot. I think if you do like the 15-minute, the 4 hour, and then use something like the daily, would be would kind of be like a good sweet spot. I like having higher time frame for your bias, your medium time frame for your order flow, and your lower time frame for your execution. So
Good way to look at it.
what do I mean by this is, sorry, this is like kind of, but this is a really good question. So if your higher time frame is like doing this, essentially, say your higher time frame is trending, the expectation is for it to continue to trend. It's higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. The expectation is for it to keep making higher highs. So this is your higher time frame bias. Now, order flow, when you get down to this leg, when you get down to like this leg, so if you're on the daily and this is what you're looking at, when you come down onto your medium time frame, like the 4 hour, that's gonna look like this. It's gonna look like market structure. I know it's straight on the daily, but it's gonna look like market structure on the 4 hour. You want your order flow, your 4 hour, to be in line with your daily, and then you want your execution time frame to also be in line, and that's going to end up being your highest probability. So when you have your okay, let me move this over a little bit. Give me 1 second. So if you are in this leg of the pullback, basically on your daily, you'd be waiting for your 4 hour to break bullish to then go look on your 15. So like this is all just the pullback. The expectation on the daily is still for it to come up here. You're waiting for your 4 hour, which is doing this right now. You're waiting for your 4 hour to come up here and break bullish. Now, when the 4 hour comes and breaks bullishly, that's when you can go on the 15-minute and start looking for entries when your order flow matches your trend. So, but yeah, I think that that's super important. I think that that third time frame makes a big help. But
That was a really great example.
It's definitely doable with 2 time frames. I'm working on simplifying to 2 time frames for myself, honestly. Yeah, sorry. But that's ultimately with multi time frame. Your highest probability is going to be when your time frames align. You can absolutely play a pullback on the daily. Like if the 4 hour is bearish while the daily is bullish, you can play those, but recognize that you're playing a higher time frame pullback, so you have to be more cautious with your management. Let's see. Sorry, I had we'll just, where's my last order? Go. Sorry, catch back up to the back testing. Sorry, had to get a drink of water real quick. All right. All right, so this is your liquidity grab. Here's your change of character. Here's your zone that reacts to it. I think this is the one we drew up before, but this is just getting back up to where we were at. And I think this is the one that goes off without us, maybe. Forget. Okay. We will relive the emotions either way. Yeah. Yeah, and kind of in line with if it doesn't show up during that zone, then I take the limit order off. That was something that you had kind of asked earlier, and I don't know if I ever fully followed through. Coming up on the time again. Let's see. Nope, our structure is up here. So, and again, this is an inside bar, and I consider an inside bar structure for the purposes of change of character. Oh God, this is like the one we saw earlier. we're out of session anyway. But yeah. It is unfortunate. The first half of the month did way better. When I was testing it earlier in the week, I was just like, man, this month is going so well. This is what I'm going to test on Friday for the stream. And now it's not as fun. Well, it's still fun because backtesting is super fun. But it's not as many winners. Okay, cool. I think here is...
You also have a question here from Q Williams, whether or not you close the trade early at the end of session.
So I think I'm just gonna play the extreme. Sorry, let me just finish putting this on. We close the trade early at end of session. If I'm tagged into a trade for 3R, I'm just letting it ride. No break even, no close early, no nothing. If I'm tagged in to a 3R for this style, I'm just letting it ride. Yeah, limit order's not on, Puerca. I'm just setting everything up. Oh no. It's a loss. Oh, okay, this was the one before. Oh, actually, this was the one before. You were like, oh, how come it's not that one? Why isn't it the extreme? And yeah. Now I remember. All right, now we're caught up. Cool. All right, let's see. So up. This is pullback.
And Fuerca was asking whether or not there was a change of character. I think on your previous example.
Yeah, he was asking. I started drawing the order like while I was just wicking. Okay. Yeah.
And for you, the highs and the lows are based on the wicks?
Yes. Sorry, one second. I just got a message. I gotta throw Discord on D&D. That's totally my fault. All right, sorry. Back to this. Here's your low to high. All right, this is the zone we wanted to see. Sorry, forgive me for a second, guys. Sidetracks. Just go back into this fresh eyes. Waiting for candle break. All right, here's your candle close.
Why do you consider that you're a high? And
so this inside bar,
I would have just considered that as part of the downward move.
It's this inside bar. God, we could do Sven, we'll have to do like a whole thing on inside bars. It's that same concept though. This inside bar didn't let's see. So price comes down, wicks goes down again, and we know this because of the candle color. So price comes down, up, goes down again, comes up, closes high, and then comes up, down. So this is all like, this is an entire range. This is an entire price range happening on lower time frames. So this 30-hour chunk, these two 15-minute candles, is an entire price range. So yeah, so this is the reaction to that price range. And then this candle would be the entry.
Because the candle closed above.
Yeah, this was the first candle that closed above it. So litter, I don't have cats. Limit order would go on here. For 3R, yep. Oh, come on.
Oh, come on.
It's okay. Sorry. Doji.
This was exactly like that video I shared last time with the dog that was saying, "Oh, come on."
Yeah. Oh, I love that
exactly
video. That was such a blast from the past. I remember that video from when I was so much younger. It's fun.
I know, from like years ago. I remember seeing that the first time and it stuck. It was funny.
Nothing during the session.
And Leandro's asking about inside bars. Yeah, and Brian as well too.
Sure.
Oh no, he's not. Brian wasn't asking. Sorry.
Oh, he was just saying inside bar to the zone. Yeah. So an inside bar essentially is just a candle that does not trade higher or lower than the candle before it. So like here, this bar right here is an inside bar to this bigger bar. So it never trades higher or lower. So it's completely inside to it. On a lower time frame, this is like consolidation or a range. This area. And this is actually kind of a good example because you can see just like the way that everything happened with like price came down here, rejected, came down again. I'm sorry, up first, then down, closed low, then up again. So it really kind of got stuck in this area for a bit and then ultimately swept it before melting. Yes, here we go. So price is still going up. Ideally, I'd be looking for longs. Lower low. Get a little bit of help with a couple candles here. No. Probably. Yeah, probably, Sven. Let's see. Sorry. Yeah.
And Mr. Sven is also.
No, he's probably right. It probably wasn't a flip zone. All right, so this is break a structure. And this is the low that caused it. All right, add a session. Where are we at? All right, let's finish up the month of March. And then I can go into logs real quick. All right. I have a feeling it's going to be this up here because of this inside bar. Yeah. Price didn't close below anyway, so no limit order. I got to keep remembering that. I got to remember price closing below the change of character line for the limit order. The high's all the way down here, or the higher low. This is change of character though, and this is going to end up just being the extreme. Yeah. Not during the session. Yeah, ended up being this wick. That's fine. And that's going to be the session, I think. All right. One more day. See if we can get anything in here.
Got this.
Yeah, come on, Price. Oh boy.
This is really such good music to do backtesting or as background for backtesting.
Bears. I totally stole Bears music. This is the Bears stream music. I say Sven is probably like, I know this music too well.
I put this on now as well when I'm either trading or backtesting.
Feels like home. All right, let's see if we get one on the last day of the month here before we switch over into the data. Oh no, that one hurts. All right, so I'm sorry guys, the last half of the month was not nearly as fun as the first half of the month. Let's see, the last half of the month was 1 2 oh god, did I 1 2 3 4 5 6 it was 1 and 6 unfortunately, so it went -3. The first half of the month and February did much better. There's a much higher win rate, 45%. But yeah, I go back over these and put them into my data, check them over, make sure that I'm trading consistently. But yeah, it's good to practice. April won't be much better on yeah, spoiler alert. But yeah, if we zoom out to the 4 hour, we can see like this is all just like messy consolidation. But yeah, less than fun, unfortunately. Tough trading time to try and trade in the middle of all this muck. But I mean, we only realize that it's muck in hindsight. When it's live, we're just trying to trade. So we got to figure out how to do it, right? But yeah. All right, guys. Thank you everybody for stopping by. It was a fun little stream today. Hopefully we get some better results next time we do some backtesting. But yeah, take care. I will catch you all next time. Ashley, thank you very much for coming and hanging out.
Thank you for inviting me in. Thank you. This was a great stream.
Yeah.
Despite the less than wonderful results, it was still really informative. Thank you.
Yeah, well, it's always good to practice no matter what. That's super important. So yeah. All right, guys. Have a great day. Take care.
Thank you too.